My name is Chetan and I'm working here in CDEC Mohali. So today we will discuss about some exploitation techniques like spoofing, sniffing, MITM kind of attacks. MITM is like man in the middle attacks. Then we have a password cracking, Trojan worms, and DOS. DOS is a denial of service. So all the terms I hope you will be aware. So starting from basic terminology, exploit. Exploit is a piece of software or a chunk of data or a sequence of commands that takes advantage of any bug or vulnerability to compromise the system. So like if you have any kind of machine and there is a vulnerability which exists in your machine, either by some hacker or either by some vendor. So an exploit is a kind of some commands through which a hacker can take advantage of your system or get access of your system. So second, we have a threat. Threat is a kind of possible danger that can exploit in an existing bug or vulnerability. So these both terms are very common terms in exploitation. So next we have a vulnerability. Vulnerability is a kind of weakness which allows a hacker to compromise the security of a computer or a network system, because uh, vulnerability is a kind of method, or you can say that it is a kind of issue in your system which allows a hacker to compromise a network. Like जिसके थ्रू आपका जो हैकर है वो आपके सिस्टम में एंटर कर सकता है. So that's a vulnerability. So attack is a kind of an action that is done on a system to get its access and extract sensitive data, or some to download or upload any kind of malware. So that term is called as a attack. So basically there are many types of threats. So here we have three types of threats. Like first one is a network based threats. Second we have a application, and third we have a host based threats. So in network based, basically the common terms which generally uses are information gathering, to get the information about your network, about your machine, about your architecture, about your firewall and all. Second, we have a sniffing to get the sensitive data from your network. Then session hijacking to hijack any logged in session or any logged in system details. Then we have a spoofing to spoof any kind of URL, mail or MAC. And last, we have a denial of service to deny any kind of network. These all five terms comes under network based threats. Next, we have a host-based threats. In host-based, like you have a viruses, Trojan worms, and spywares. Then you have a footprinting to again get the information about your target. Because if you know about your target, that what Windows or what operating system he is using, then only you can send further attacks based on the target operating system. Then we have a password cracking to crack or uh, hack the password of any machine or any application. And then last we have again a denial of service, which again comes under host based to deny any kind of the service. And last we have a application based threats like buffer overflow to send a malicious or junk kind of data to any application, or like any forms. Then we have a cross-site scripting through which you can steal any kind of sensitive data, or you can hijack any kind of cookies of any application. Then we have a SQL injection. I hope you know these terms, which comes under application or website hacking. Then we have a network dropping, then cookie replay attacks and data tampering to like change the values of any form. And then last we have a MITM attacks. So MITM attack again comes in all three categories: in network, in host, and in application. So starting from exploitation, basically exploitation is a piece of code or a script which can allow hackers to take control over a system and exploiting its vulnerabilities. Like if you want to hack any operating system, then you must know what is the target operating system, क्या उसकी operating system का क्या नाम है, whether it is a Windows based operating system or a Linux based operating system. So this is your first command to get the information about your target. So next you have to identify like which vulnerabilities it has. So it means you have to scan the target operating system by any means, like through IP you can also scan, or through services you can even identify all the vulnerabilities in your target operating system. So these kind of steps, if you execute one by one through some kind of script or some kind of framework, then that term is called as a exploitation, and that framework is generally called as exploitation framework. So we have a one of the best framework in this category called as a Metasploit framework, which is again a powerful tool to locate vulnerabilities in any system, whether it is your local system in your LAN network or it is a remote system. You can use this tool against both cases. So hackers normally uses vulnerability scanners like Nessus, Nexpose, OpenVIS, Acunetics to find these vulnerabilities in your services or in your machine. So again, we have a list of websites through which you can even get all the information about the latest vulnerabilities or latest threats. Like uh, we have a exploit database, we have a CVE, common vulnerability and exposures, then national vulnerability database through which you can identify the vulnerabilities. And this is the example of exploit DB. I can show you this one. So here you can see that the WordPress of this version got this vulnerability by this date and by this author, and the platform of this is PHP, and this is the type of the vulnerability. So through which you can easily uh, get a list of all the latest vulnerabilities and then make a plan accordingly against any target. So basically there are a lot of vulnerabilities are there. Here you can see that if I clear all the values, then you can see that the total number of entries are 20,000. So which means a lot. Then we have Metasploit framework. So Metasploit framework is an automated exploitation framework. You don't need to run any kind of command manually one by one. You just need to configure your target and configure your localhost. Then this tool will automatically run all the commands against your target. So it is an open source and continuous development and updates. Basically, this framework has been used to scan or exploit development types, but nowadays a lot of hackers are using these kind of framework against any target. So this tool has extensible through plugins and modules. There are so many plugins and modules are available. Like I can show you the example of this Metasploit framework. So to use this framework, you need an operating system we called as a Kali Linux operating system. To start this tool, you have to type the command called as msf console in your terminal. You can even open this same tool by this menu also. Exploitation, and there is the exploitation framework. The both things are same. Either you can open through directly start menu, or you can run this through tool through command line. Basically, this tool has around 5 versions, and around 3 versions are command line versions and 2 versions are graphical version. And this tool has even having more than thousands of payloads, which are very easy to use, and the framework has been written in Ruby. Ruby is a language, programming language. So the Metasploit framework has been developed by HD Moore in 2003, and then further in 2009, it has been acquired by Rapid9. So which again remains open source and free for use, because this is not an exploitation framework or any illegal tool. It is basically used for scanning. So it is just an information gathering tool whether your operating system can be hacked or not. So it's all about up to you, like how you want to use this tool. So basically there are 4 terms like exploit, payload, module, and shellcode. Exploit is a kind of like you want to use to take advantage of any security flaw within either your system, network, or application. It means this tool can be used against any kind of website, any kind of network, or any kind of machine. So you can use this tool in any way. Next we have a payload. Payload is a kind of like a code that our victim computer to execute by the MSL. So payload is just kind of your gun. Like if you want to kill any person and you need some kind of tool, and that tool is kind of called as a gun. So in similar term, so payload is kind of a gun where you can use against your target to execute your malware or execute your exploit. Then you have a module. Module is a small piece of code that can be added to MSF to execute an attack. So module is a kind of a plugin where you can use external library and can then further integrate into Matterport framework. Then last we have a shellcode. Shellcode again is a piece of code that can be used as a payload. Example, like you have a malware which can be easily detected by all antivirus engines. And for example, if you want to unicode that malware so that no one antivirus will detect the file as a virus, then you can use these kind of shellcodes to uh, unicode all the files and so that no one antivirus will detect as antivirus. Oh, sorry, virus. So this is the example of MSF console. Here you can see that now you have MSF6. Here there are around 2000 plus exploits are there. 1000 plus auxiliary modules. Auxiliary means scanning modules are there. 300 plus are post modules. Post means a post exploitation. Because once you entered into your target system, after attack, what you want to achieve in that system, like you want to capture all the login details, you want to capture all the keywords and all. So these are the post exploitation modules. Then we have a payloads. Payloads are kind of guns. Like if you want to hack a Linux machine, then there are different payloads for Linux. If you want to hack any web application, then there are different modules for different payloads for web application. Next, we have encoders through which you can make any kind of encoding or decoding of any file or any application like this. So to use any exploit, you can easily use like command is use. Then there is a exploit name like this. For example, if you want to search any exploit, then you can use these terms. Search Net API. So Net API is a kind of vulnerability which comes in Windows XP operating system. So based on this vulnerability, there are 4 exploits are available in this Metasploit framework. And even you can check the disclosure date. So the latest the date is and more the powerful exploit is. So here you can see that the latest disclosure date of this vulnerability is 2008, and this is the name of that exploit. So to use the exploit, you just need to type use, then exploit, then Windows, then SMB. SMB is a service in Windows. Then this is the name of the exploit, ms08 underscore 67 underscore net API. And if you want to get more information about this exploit, you can even go to Google ms08067 net API. So you will get like how Microsoft discloses this vulnerability in Windows XP and what are the different exploits are available, how it actually works. So you will get a lot of details of this exploit. Then you just need to type enter and you will be into this exploit. Now here you can see that it shows no payload configured. So the default payload is a Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP. Reverse TCP means once you start the attack or even once you success your attack, you will automatically get a reverse TCP connection of that target. So reverse TCP means like a connection between your machine and your target machine, which sends regular data from target machine to your machine. Like if you want to capture the screenshot of your target machine, then this tool will help you because MS Meterpreter has a lot of tools, lot of commands are there. So like to check the options whether your tool has been configured or not, you just need to type show options. So here you can see that there are many options are there. Like, so here you can see that rhost. Rhost means your target. So rhost is your target IP. So to set the target IP, you just need to type set, then rhost, then your IP. For example, or I'm using some random IP, for example, 10.228.2.3, for example. So you just need to type enter, and then again you have to check show options. The target will be set here. Yes. So this target can be either your target host IP or any kind of range if you want to start the attack or launch an attack against any network or any series of network. Then you have to mention your CEIDR identifier or a host file. Even you can upload your host file and then get the path of this rhost. So this tool will work against any individual IP or any multiple IPs also. Then RPort is a default port through which it will send your malicious data through this SMB service. And then SMB pipe is used by browser. So browser is your SMB pipe name through which it will send your malicious data. And this is your payload option. So payload here you can see that the L host is your IP where the reverse connection has been made by this target, and the exit function is a thread. Thread is a kind of service, and then the listening port is localhost port, and which is 4444. Even you can change these kind of information also, like set L port to something any. Then again you have to check show option. The reverse port connection will be changed. So after configure all these settings like your target host and your local host, you just need to type the command that is a exploit. So once you enter this command, it will automatically start a reverse TCP handler from to this IP from this IP. So if the vulnerability exists in that IP, you will automatically get a reverse connection of that machine where you can further execute any kind of command like to dump the Facebook credential, to dump the browser credentials and all, to dump all cookies, to see what is watching. To you can even open a VNC connection against your target machine. So there are n number of commands are there for this. So this is a basic example of exploitation, like how it works and what you actually need. You just need to know that like what vulnerability it is and what is the target IP address. That's it. You just need two things, and then the rest of this tool will do automatically all the things. So steps to exploit, like you have to configure active exploit, like previously we used NET API. Then you have to verify the exploit options. You have to set the target and all, then selecting a payload, and then last launching the exploit. So these are the commands for Windows hacking, like MSF console to open a Metasploit framework, then search NET API, then you have to use the exploit, then you have to check the options whether the target is set or not, then set rhost to set the target, then set payload to set the payload, and then again you have to check options, then you have to set your IP address from where the reverse connection will made, and then last exploit. And if all commands will get success, then you will get all the information about your target by typing sysinfo. So let's talk about now spoofing versus phishing. So might you know that these both terms. Spoofing is a identity theft where a person is trying to use the identity of an legitimate user. But phishing is where a person steals the sensitive information of a user, like your bank details, your password and all. So by way of category, spoofing can be phishing, but phishing is not a part of spoofing. And by way for spoofing, someone has to download a malicious software in your user computer. But phishing is done using a social engineering where you have where a hacker can impersonate like a real user. Then the purpose of spoofing is to done to get a new identity, but in phishing is to done to get a confidential information. And the examples of spoofing are like IP spoofing, email spoofing, and URL spoofing. And the examples of phishing is like phone phishing, like to ask OTP and to get bank account details, or a clone phishing, etc. So these are the difference between spoofing and phishing. So the best example of spoofing is like, here you can see that, suppose you want to access any kind of website which is not allowing into your network, or it is a ban in your network, then you have to use these kind of websites like hide proxy or proxy, online proxy sites. Then you just need to open that site which you want to access or which is blocked in your network. Then you will see that the IP address of that uh, interface will be changed. So this is called a basic example of spoofing. Then you can easily open or access any kind of website. Next we have a MITM attack. So MITM is like a man in the middle. So the man in the middle attack is also abbreviated as MITM or MIM and sometimes called MITMA. So which implies an active attack where the adversary impersonates the user by creating a connection between the victims and send message between them. So basically MITM में क्या होता है, एक हैकर जो होता है वो एक behave like a user which sends and receive message instead of your identity. So in this case, the victim thinks that they are communicating with each other, but in reality, the malicious actor controls the communication. And so this is the basic example of MITM. So here you can see that this is the attacker. Sorry, this is a normal user who wants to access the internet by this modem, and this is a attacker who creates a same name of fake access point and disconnect their original network. तो अगर ये आपका नेटवर्क डिस्कनेक्ट होता है तो नेचुरली जो ये यूजर होगा इसको इंटरनेट मिलेगा नहीं, एंड दैट यूजर विल बी कनेक्टेड बाय दिस फेक access point and then further use the internet. So this whole process is known as a MITM. So where this hacker creates an anonymous fake AP with the same name of that real Wi-Fi name and then send a malicious packet to this network to just down the network so that the user will get connected to this fake access point. So the whole process is an idea of just MITM. So there are so many tools are there for MITM like MITM proxy, then Ethercap, then Wireshark, then we have a BetterCap, then TCP dump to just sniff the network traffic. Then we have a WinDump, OmniPeak again is a wireless sniffer. Then DSniff is a tool to sniff all the FTP or HTTP kind of protocols. Then EtherApp is again used for network sniffing. So here you can check that DSniff tool. I'm just showing you one example of DSniff. So here you can see that how it actually works, what you have to do before to start sniffing. So like this. So when someone access a Facebook in his computer, and he, for example, let's assume he connected with a fake access point, then all login details of these websites will be saved in these log files. So this is an example of sniffing and MITM attack. So even if you want to capture all the traffic of, for example, ETH0 protocol, then you just need to type dsniff-i and ETH0 is your network interface. So as you can see that on this jet, a TCP connection has been made from this source to this destination via this protocol, and these are the user details like this one. So you can easily sniff all the login credentials of any system, any machine within a network like this. So there are so many tools are there, like URL Synapse is also another tool to sniff the URL information, like what type of URL is your target is opening, like this. Next, further we have a data sniffing example. So as you can see that AeroDump is a tool through which you can capture all the data of your wireless network. Then defend against sniffing is like restrict your physical access to the network media to ensure that a packet sniffer cannot be installed. Use encryption to protect confidential information, or you even go with the MAC address binding and use the IP version 6 instead of IP version 6 protocol. But IP version 6 protocol still is in development, so you can use IP4 with MAC binding. So this will protect your network or your system against sniffing attacks. And last, we have a denial of service. So in denial of service, a DOS attackers attempt to prevent legitimate user of service by flooding the network with traffic or disrupting connection. Like, for example, if I want to ping any machine like 10.28.12.1, so the command is simply ping 10.228.12.1. So it will automatically send the 4 packets to that network and will get a reply from that machine. So let's, for example, I type -t at the end of this command. So -t is to send the packets, to send the ICMP packets continuously. So if you use this command and or even if you run ping command again and again, so this will lead a DOS attack. So this is the best example of DOS. Like you want to send a packet again and again to any target. So the attacker may target any particular service, like you can target HTTP protocol, FTP, ICMP, or any other protocol. This can be work against any protocol. Like indications like unusual slowdown of your network services, unavailability of a particular website, or dramatic increase in the volume of spam. Like you might seen online when a result has been announced in any university website, then suddenly the website goes down because the web server receives a lot of traffic, and that traffic got again jumped by the IP address and through blocked all the services. So this is the best example of DOS attack. So types like ping of that, then sending a malformed or other malicious ping to a computer, then teardrop, like to send a fragmented packets, then SYN flooding to sending TCP connection request to any target. Then we have a LAN, sending a data packet to a target machine with the same host and port name for the source and destination. So same host and same host means you just need to like ping 127.0.0.5. So this is a kind of a LAN attack where you are using destination is the same as your source address. Then Smurf using spoof IP address to send broadcasting ping messages. And then we have a Fraggle to using UDP packets. And if you want to use TCP packets, then that attack is called SYN flooding. And if you want to use UDP, then that attack is called as Fraggle. Then we have a Snork, target against window anti-RPC services. OOB is called as an out-of-band attack, which is again a existing bug in Microsoft implementation of its IP stack. Then we have a buffer overflow, sending more information to a program than it's allocated to handle. Like जैसे आप एक अगर गिलास में पानी डालते रहोगे तो naturally जो पानी है वो गिलास से बाहर आ जाएगा. So that attack is called buffer overflow. Then we have a nuke where you have to send invalid ICMP packets. And the last we have a reflected attack where you have to send false request to a large number of computer which respond to those requests. एक बार आपने number of packets को send किया और जो जो उसमें आपको reply मिला, then you again use that system only. So this is all about your exploitation and then metasploit, then spoofing, phishing, MATM, and DOS. If you have any doubt, you can please ask.
Overpricing है, MRP से overpricing है, सारे उसमें clauses हैं, वो सब just fix है, उसका कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि अपने आप से वो सब law के साथ. Now, I think you clear it, but I want to go. Now, I want you to make again.
Okay, so I hope it is clear to you. And for further information, you can even read my blog if you want to go into this exploitation field. So there are a lot of articles are there. You can see Metasploit tutorials. There I have put enough information in this exploitation module.
So now saying that I don't have a paper now.
So thank you to all of you for listening my lecture.
Discuss with each other. I'll give you my mail.